Hi everyone, it's Nicole Wilkins with FitnessRx for Women, and this is my next question and answer segment where I took your questions from Facebook and I'm going to answer them for you today. The first question I have is, in your answers last week, you mentioned that you shouldn't do high intensity interval training every day. I love HIIT and I have a hard time with long monotonous cardio. I've been doing HIIT 5 to 6 times a week for the past few months, as well as lift 5 to 6 times per week. Why should I not do HIIT every day? How often can I do it, and what do you recommend on the days I don't do it? Well, I'm sure everybody has their own method as far as the type of cardio to do, and everybody's a little different, but I don't recommend doing HIIT every day. Now, there's a difference between steady state cardio, keeping your heart rate at a certain point for the duration of the time. For example, jogging outside for 30 minutes or so, your heart rate gets to a constant. The second type would be interval training, which is, let's say you're on the step mill and you decide to start at level 8, and then you after 2 minutes you go to level 10, and then 2 minutes you go to 12, and then after 2 minutes you go back to 10, and then you go back to 8. So you're constantly like changing the either resistance, the incline, the speed, the intensity, so that you are constantly doing kind of hills, more speed training type stuff. There's also HIIT, which if you're doing a proper HIIT workout, it really should last no longer than 20 to 30 minutes maximum. HIIT workouts are full out max intervals. So you have a rest period of 1 to 2 minutes, and then you go full out for like 30 minutes, usually no longer than a minute, because if you can go longer than a minute, you probably aren't going intense enough. So that type of training I don't recommend doing every day, because it takes a lot out of you. Interval training you can do every day. Steady state cardio you could do every day, but high intensity interval training, if you do it all the time, 6 days a week or so, you're never really letting your body recover, and you're breaking down your muscle fibers when you work out too. So I think that doing it every other day, or 3 times a week or so, is sufficient. Nicole, can you tell us more about your upcoming fitness wear line and where it will be available? Yes, I'm super excited. So I don't know if some of you remember, but a few years back I did a calendar, 2012 calendar, and I approached a company called Bluefish Sport to see if they'd be interested in providing some fitness wear for the calendar. So they sent me a bunch of outfits, and ever since then I've created a relationship with the owner of the company. And a year ago, she approached me and asked me if I'd be interested in creating a Nicole Wilkins line. It's wholesale, so I basically went out and over a year process, we've been sending clothes back and forth. I went out to Miami about a month ago and got to finalize the pieces that I want for my collection. So I'm starting pretty basic. I'm going to do a few pants, some cargo pants, capri pants. I'm going to do a few tank tops, some long sleeve shirts, sports bra, some shorts, just some basic stuff, basic colors, just to kind of launch it and see how it does. But it was really fun because I got to choose if I want pockets, or if I want a thicker waistband, or if I want it longer length, the type of material. So I really had a hands-on approach with the entire process, and so now that she knows what exactly I want for the line, we're going to send samples back and forth, and I'm hoping that it can be launched around early spring. The Arnold will be fantastic, but we'll see. The clothes will be available on my website, NicoleWilkins.com, which is under renovation at this moment. The current site you see is completely being changed, so I'm excited about that too. Lots of projects, but it'll be available on my website, and then I will probably bring some clothes to expos and seminars and workshops that I'll be holding as well. The next question I have is, I just started to lift weights. Is it better to do lighter weights with faster reps, or heavier weight with as many reps as you can? Looking to get lean and toned. Okay, if you're trying to look lean, you want to build muscle, and by doing lighter weights with fast reps isn't really the way to do that. So slow your repetitions down, do like a 1, 2 count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 1 1,000, 2 1,000. So you get the full benefit of the exercise you're performing, as well as the proper range of motion. If you go too fast, you could lose your form and you could get injured. You should be lifting heavy enough where at the 10th to 15th repetition, you're really struggling, where you may not be able to get any more. If you can do 20 to 30 repetitions, then the weight is too light. So you want to build muscle so that you speed up your metabolism, your body starts taking shape. It's very difficult to look manly, so don't be afraid to lift the heavy weights. Sometimes after doing a tough cardio session or after lifting very heavy, I feel quite nauseous for the next half hour or so due to exhaustion. Is there any way to prevent myself from feeling like that? Any supplements or training tips? Well, first make sure that you're staying hydrated. So be sure to drink water throughout your training session. You may want to think about taking a branched chain amino acid, which can help with muscle recovery during your workout. You also make sure that you're fueling your body properly before your workout. So have a good source of carbohydrate, a good source of protein, and maybe add a little bit of fats in there so that you have more energy to sustain yourself throughout your training. And then, of course, post-workout, eat within an hour after your workout so that you can refill your body, replenish the glycogen that you would burn off through the training session. And that should help as well. If you're pushing yourself to exhaustion every time, maybe try resting a little longer between your sets, maybe scaling it back a little bit, because you shouldn't feel that way every single time. And the last question I have is, hi Nicole, I read that you suffered from knee problems in the past. What exercises did you do to get back your strength, and are you doing specific things like massage, stretching, specific formal training to keep them in good form? Well, I've had knee surgery twice on my left knee. I was 15 the first time, 16 the second time, so I was pretty young, so it's been a little while. But during that time I was a gymnast, and I, through rehab, would ride the bike. I would do a lot of ball squats where you have the resistance ball against the wall, so you're focusing on proper form just to keep the quadricep muscles strengthened. I do a lot of balance stuff to help strengthen a lot of the stabilizer muscles. I would do light leg extensions. I would avoid things that hurt it, but I didn't stop weight training completely. And over time, as I built the strength up and it started feeling a little better, I would challenge myself a little bit more. But yes, I'm a huge, huge advocate of massage therapy, yoga, stretching on a regular basis. I go to the chiropractor every other week. I really think that those alternative methods will help prevent you from getting injured in the long run. And I also have had a lot of success with glucosamine chondroitin, which you can get at your local grocery store or health food store. And that's just a joint guard to help with any joint issues, whether it's your knee or your elbows or your shoulders or whatever. So you may want to consider that too. Alright guys, that's all I have for this week. Until next week, keep asking your questions on the FitnessRx for Women Facebook page, and I'll be back every Friday to answer them for you. Until then, keep living the fit life.